Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of our entitled parents. In today's episode, entitled parents ask me to remove my prosthetic. Mum 58F wants to come on vacation with me 28F and my best friend. My dad feels entitled to control who my future husband is. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled parents ask me to remove my prosthetic. For a bit of background, I, 24M, am half deaf on my left side due to a birth defect. I also have a misshaped ear due to a combination of birth defects and surgeries to repair it. When I got a bit older, I started wearing a prosthetic ear on that side to cover it up. It wasn't perfect, but it looked better than what I originally had. Unfortunately though, these types of prosthetics don't last forever and have to be replaced every so often as the colors begin to fade and it tears around the edges. It is removable. I was due for a new one and was just waiting on my insurance to approve it before the prosthetist would send it to me. For the actual story, I was working in a pediatric emergency room at the time and had just received an order to perform an EKG on a roughly 8 to 10-year-old patient. When I walked into the room and began to introduce myself to the family, mom, dad, and the patient, the mother looked up at me and gasped. I was taken aback and asked her what was wrong. She told me, "Your ear is really freaking me out. Is it supposed to be some kind of Halloween costume or something? It seems inappropriate for a children's hospital." Mind you, it was only October 2nd or 3rd. I explained to her that I had a disability for which I wear a prosthetic. She then asked me to take it off because it is making me uncomfortable. I politely declined because it's held on by medical glue and not so easy to take on and off. I proceeded to do my job and perform the EKG, but throughout the procedure the father decided to repeatedly probe me for personal information. Asking me things like, "Are you sure you're qualified to do this?" and "How long did you go to school before this job?" I answered his questions, but could very obviously tell that he was insinuating I was mentally disabled and shouldn't be working in this field. I finished the procedure as quickly as I could and left, not saying anything to the parents but did wish the child well. I gave the report to the beside nurse and asked her not to call me for this patient unless they absolutely needed to. I kept my mouth shut at the time, but in retrospect I wish I had spoken up for myself more. Some people just have no respect for those with disabilities. Edit. Wow, thanks for all the well wishes. While my blood was boiling at the time, I've dealt with far worse. I'm doing great now. Since then I've moved on to our pediatric ICU. Also gone back to school for my master's this year and have earned several more credentials since then. Don't let anyone else tell you what you can/can't do because of your disability. I'm an ultrasound tech and people question my knowledge and skills constantly. I guess I look young. I've been doing it for almost 15 years, but I am constantly questioned. I like to tell them that I usually just wash dishes in the cafeteria, but the hospital was short-staffed today and since I'm good at video games they figured they'd give me a shot. The look of shock is always worth it. My kind of answer. Love it. I have DIY prosthetic ears for my cat because she was born without ears and so I knitted some for her. Any chance you could share a photo of said kitty? If not, that's totally fine. I feel sorry for the patient who has idiot parents. I was at Goodwill yesterday. While there I was waiting for the handicapped dressing room. I have spina bifida, wear a metal leg brace on the left leg and have a rod in my left leg from hip to ankle to where it doesn't bend. The perfectly fine lady that kept coming out of the dressing room to get more clothes out of her cart that was filled to the brim. At one point she asked me how a top looked. I replied I was too aggravated with her to tell her. She told me I was acting entitled to that room, it has a wheelchair symbol on the door, then told me I was the type to take up a handicap parking space. I told her I was that type since I was the type why they have handicap parking spaces. She called me a nasty name. I'm sorry that happened to you. My daughter is multiply disabled, but when she was a baby she looked fine, acted different. We didn't even have a working DX, so when people would cut a wide berth in the supermarket, afraid of the demon baby growling and rolling her eyes and flopped backwards over the seat in the cart, I just didn't take it personally. One day someone actually tiptoed up to me and said, "What is wrong with your baby?" And I just shrugged and said, "Let me know if you have any ideas." The thing is, the average person is dumber than you think, and half the people are dumber than that. Quoting someone here, that's a whole lot of dumb in the world, and you just have to allow for them, but try not to let the dumb rub off on you by reacting too much. There should be fantasy prosthesis you can wear, like elf ears and whatnot. I'm sorry that you have to deal with people like that. I think you handled yourself well by ignoring them and continuing to do your job. You shouldn't listen to people like that. I'm sure they're just worried about their son and weren't thinking about your feelings. I hope this interaction didn't lower your self-image. I know you said it happened a few months ago, so I'm hoping you don't think about it that much. Take care of yourself. Mom 58F wants to come on vacation with me 28F and my best friend. My best friend moved abroad 5 years ago and I haven't spent that much time with her, but somehow this year our work vacations have coincided and I'm going to visit her in Dubai for a week. Cannot wait. Mom wants to come, not sure why a mother would want to invite herself on her daughter's vacation. I would be embarrassed to do that if I was her. I went on vacation with my mom over the summer and also this winter just gone, so it's not like I'm being unreasonable by not wanting her to come. She doesn't have the guts to travel solo or even with friends, only with me. She is like a toxic leech. I went to Dubai 6 years ago when she invited herself on the trip. She ruined the holiday because she was arguing the whole time and complaining about where to go, what restaurant to eat in, etc. Honestly, she is such a childish narcissist. Don't share your plans with your mom. Just book and go. Text when you get there to say you're safe. Enjoy your trip. Or tell her it is a week or two before you actually go. So she will have used up her money paying for flights/hotels, etc., assuming you aren't super rich. If you message when you get there, she will easily be able to get a last-minute flight, turn up and ruin your plans. No is a complete sentence. Mom, I love you, but this is a trip for X and me. I can't wait to tell you about it when I return. Start now or she will be on your honeymoon. Always include a positive spin on it. Just tell her that you and your friend want to be alone to catch up. My dad feels entitled to control who my future husband is. I can't deal with my dad and his shit any longer. So my dad is a narcissist and it's affecting my future plans in life. So, I have been secretly dating someone for 2 years now. My dad is very strict and doesn't like dating in the American way. He's an immigrant. I've gotten to know my partner really well and have fallen in love with him. I honestly can't imagine being with anyone else. So, after us dating for a good amount of time, I told my dad and mom about my partner but didn't tell them that I've been dating him for a long time now. I simply told him that I've known for him a couple of years now, and over the past few months we have gotten to know each other more and discussed getting married with my parents' blessing and his parents too. His parents are overseas. My family is Middle Eastern and his family is African. So when I told my dad, he was shocked and taken back. At first, he said, "No, I don't think you should be with this guy because I want you to focus on school. I'm 23 and going to dental school, and think about marriage after you're a doctor. He also wants me to marry in our culture and religion, but I don't want that. I want the guy I actually care about and love." I've convinced him to at least meet my partner and talk to him face to face before he rejects the idea. After some hesitation, he finally agreed and met him at our house and questioned him and his plans for about 30 minutes. My partner left and my dad took almost a week to let me know about his thoughts. Last night he came to my room and talked to me about his thoughts and said, "I've thought about it and my answer is no." He continued to tell me I don't know this guy or his family. I don't know what his intentions are. He could get you pregnant and then leave you. I don't want you running back to my house then. He paused, waited for me to respond, and when I didn't say anything he said, "Say something please. I've said all this and you're not saying anything. Tell me yes or no you'll leave him and end it." I asked him for an explanation as to why he's saying no. He said, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, I just don't want him to be my son-in-law. I want better for you. Someone we know in their family so we can connect with them and visit their family and have a relationship. I don't know this guy, and when I look at him I can't ignore that he looks African/black. What will our family back home think? I honestly don't care what the family back home will think. He's even brought up the idea that maybe in a few months or years I will find someone from America or back home who is from our culture and religion, and he won't be opposed then. He's also told me multiple times throughout this whole situation that I'm his favorite child and he loves me so much and he lives and breathes for me. He says that if it wasn't for me pursuing a successful career and making him proud, he would go back home to live there because he is not happy here and only lives for his children. This makes me upset because he's putting a lot of pressure and guilt on my shoulders. He's also cried in front of me multiple times and said he's thought about shooting himself with a gun because of how upset and sad he is about this situation. That's crazy. I really want to marry my partner because we have so much in common. He treats me kindly, and I've seen him show his love to me in multiple ways. At this point I'm ready to either tell my dad that I won't leave my partner and see his reaction, or just pack my things in secret and move out. What should I do? I also want to talk to my partner about what my dad has said and see how he sees things, and basically ask him if he is willing to get married even without my parents' blessing. Help me make a decision, please. I was telling you, not asking you. If you don't like it, I can move out, and you'll never have to see me again. This might be dangerous for OP. The dad doesn't sound that way, but honor killings are an actual thing in Middle Eastern culture. I'd lay low for a bit and get all your important documents together. Create a plan to leave, and when everything is set in stone, move TF out when your dad isn't home. I fear if he gets wind of you defying him, he'll somehow try and hold you hostage by seizing things like your license, birth certificate, passport, etc. Your father/family is not marrying. You would be. It matters that you are happy. F***ck the family back home, who cares what they think? You have a brain, and it is your decision to make. You are not in a hurry and are going to school still. Give it time so you can make the right choice for you. I've told him that too. I said that I don't care about their opinion because I'm living here and it's my life, not theirs. They'll find something else to talk about eventually. Please, not as an American, but as a man, please find a man that you cannot live without, love so strong your heart aches when he is gone. Your father wants an arranged marriage to own you and control you through your arranged husband. That much is easy to see. Most times, there is little love or understanding. You are an adult. You can leave and live without your parents. You are a citizen. You have rights. Discuss with UBF. You never move. Please make yourself happy. Good luck. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.